Welcome, welcome, Aries. I'm Key. We are now through the doorway in the Akashic Records Library. Let's see what books want to reach out to you for August 2nd to August 16th. What are the energies? So, renewal. Wow. So, Aries, there's a lot of things you have been reviewing, connecting to, not just from within, but outside of yourself. You may be reviewing what feels true for you and the value you have learned along the way. Everything that you're reviewing is life lessons that you have learned, not just from yourself, but from others as well. And how others are connected or extension of you in some way, shape, or form. So, review and evaluate a favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. Okay. The direction has you definitely taking more caution, a careful approach, again, to how you connect to things, your experiences of connecting to things is up for reevaluation. It's nothing about being careful. There's nothing wrong with that. When we're careful, that means we truly care about every connection that we have. So, being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. That would explain the connection that you want to give your energy to. You're really looking at or reevaluating, how does that truly feel to you? Like when you truly give to others, what does that make you feel like? In what way do you give to others? You may be thinking about. Wow, being the Knight of Water. So, you have a loyal self-esteem when it comes to self. You're very loyal to yourself. You're very loyal on how you walk in the world and how you lead in it. But most importantly, how you protect it. So, you're very... Wow, it does say fall in love, a wedding proposal, the need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. You may be, well, we're still in summer, so you may have a social event that is requiring of you how you do show your emotions, the way you look at romance, or showing your enthusiastic nature. And again, that caution, being very contemplative. You have learned a lot along the way. But most importantly, how to, yes, be loyal to yourself, but have that same amount of energy to be loyal to others. Whatever you want, you're going in the right direction of how to obtain that. Wow. Yeah, 444 came up, so you're really looking at connections in a whole new manner. You're coming definitely into your own. If this is in regards to another person, this person is trying to figure out how to show that same connection that you give to them to you as well. It's all about that equal amount of loyalty, not just for each other, but even viewpoints of how you connect to the creator inside of you and outside of you. It's like having that same trait in another person, but in their own way, being open-minded. Wow. So, when it comes to working on any type of relationship, yes, you put in an equal amount of effort as another person. And it may be, yes, equal amount of passion there and purpose. Is figuring out together and even as an individual how this connection can be workable for you and them on a whole scope. So this 3 of Wands can turn into a 4, where both of you feel that contentment, peace, and abundance. But it's from working together. Even if that means re-looking at how working together, the lessons you learn, and what does it mean to work with another person? How do you work with yourself? Wow. This will be from them being more connected, or definitely cautious, or looking at a careful approach on the experience that they want with you, Aries, is going to become that wish fulfillment for both you and them. But it took, again, something about concentrating on what kind of efforts is needed, what kind of energy is truly needed to make anything in life worth the time. Is that equality that's coming up. And here you come, Aries. Look at that. The Magician. You know how to make things happen. Again, you have that loyalty. You have that leadership and protection. But it's like figuring out how to move that to another level. Or seeing how far you have come. You have definitely matured in your own. Is seeing how your maturity matches with other people. In my mind's eye, I'm getting like an island again. Well, that would make sense. An island. Would you want to really be on by yourself? It's like, yes, advancing in your life, advancing in everything that you do is wonderful. That's the best thing about building up not just self-esteem, but knowing who you are before having a connection with another person. That would make perfect sense. Yet at the same time, it asks us a question of, when you're with a partner, is it a similarity? Wow, these two cards were in between. I was doing a reading for myself to understand things, especially when it comes to energy and elements. Like how, when even seeing colors, what does that mean in the connection to things? Like when we look at green, how do we look at green? Yes, we look at the most obvious question would be paper, money. Yes, those are true. But how do we even get that concept? Like, okay, if we do have green to reflect money or green to reflect the planet, to even have money, what did you have to do? You had to go out and get it. You had to figure out or see how your what you are naturally groomed in having, like what do you naturally possess, how can you turn that into an earning? Even if that meant going to school, picking up subjects that connect to who you are, so when going out to make trade, that yes, the money that you earn is truly connected to who you are. When it comes to the planet, yes, the planet is green. But how did we get green? We had to nurture it. We had to put seeds down. Even the planet Earth itself showed us in its own way, what does it mean to nurture something? What does it mean to tend to something? How does that connect to everything else? We do need water. Earth cannot go along by itself without water. Okay, the water can get the soil and the dirt, but what else is going to need? It's going to need air to breathe and move around that water to the planet or to the soil to have things grow. Well, what else would it need to have? It would definitely need to have fire, the sun, yes. But what is else that fire? The seed to begin with to have something grow. Everything could grow, but everything is growing. But what seed did it take? What heat? It's like wanting to see it happen. Seeing all those connections. We need every element. It's like we need everything to work, even if we're that individual. So if we know that in ourselves, when it comes to another person, we could only imagine what they're trying to make of themselves while having a partnership with another person. Not only in matching them, but in a way where it makes them feel complete too. That's where that 9, feeling complete, not just with yourself, but when you're with another person or when it comes to partnership, how they feel complete even in this connection, like that missing piece. So we're going to put this to the side. It was a reason why, because yesterday I wanted to do the fire and air elements, but I couldn't figure out why I didn't want to do it on the first. The most obvious, right? The first. That's the Aries. That's the fire element. Why not start there? But it was something else that was restraining me from doing that. Now, with you, sun, moon, and rising, course watcher, I'm starting to understand why that was. And having confidence in that. You're having confidence in who you are, but most importantly, you having confidence in how your life does entwine with others. Wow. So, when it comes to working on any connection, you're seeing how, again, the stages it took to have something truly work. What were the stages that you had to see in yourself to make things work with you? How did you make yourself a complete package? What were the steps that you had to do? You're starting to see the things that you started will turn into the same things that will sprout. So you're seeing, well, if you had to see that in another person, knowing what you do already know about them, what would have been their steps to make them become their wish fulfillment? How do they work on themselves? And is it satisfying to them? Wow. So yes, releasing. When we have a clean slate with things, it's like having a new, again, that new lease on life. That renewal, release. I don't know if we're still in a retrograde. I think we still are. But because we're in Leo seasons, like what would we really want to lead in? What have we learned in life, and how we do take those leads? What were the things that we had to see and go through to make, yes, a person self-made, but those stages had scenes. Those scenes could not be done in just seconds. It had to be done through time. How many, when we want to grow, how long did it truly take for us to mature in that and to feel self-confident in that? So when we look at somebody, can we really say we expect them to do things right there on the spot? Or do we know innately that it's going to take some work? And releasing anything that could cause a regret, resentment, remorse. Yes, these are all names, but these names have emotions to them. These concepts had to be experienced. So your experience is not something that should be overlooked. But how can you look at these same emotions and say, what have you learned from them though? So when you look at other people, you can see, well, when they have a new lease on life, or when they're redoing who they are, is it more understandable now? So the end of a phase or a situation. Wow, spiritual transformation, time to move on. Yes, you're moving. You're moving. Everything that you're doing is more connected to you now. No matter how it is, you know it's worth your time. You know whatever direction you're going to is what's right for you before anybody else. When it's right for you, that's when you know everybody else would be on that same accord with you. Wow. If that's in regards to another person, this is what they could be releasing as well. So, wow. Two things. Yeah. How you look at yourself, your experience, and how you look at others and their experience. How when coming together, it can become a true connection. We all say opposites attract. Yes, they do. But why is that? Why is a negative and a positive attract in the first place? When we have to put on the light, we need a negative charge and a positive charge. Why? It's like not shunning one or the other. And again, going back to the planet, we do need the sun and the moon. They're both circular. They're both light in their own way. One is light for the day, one is light for the night. They're both doing things that are the same. They're both growing things. They're both moving elements to have things evolve on their own. Yet it has a true connection to it. Let's see what that is. If this is in with another person, let's see. Yeah, coming together. Like figuring out how to really come together. When it's in regards to yourself, like who you used to be and who you are now, yes, are different, but quite the same. Is your evolution of who you are. You evolved. So when we evolve, then that means everything that we have learned, yes, can be relooked, but it can evolve with our thought in it, our experience to it. It's like the same, we all experience happiness. But what levels? When you were two years old, what kind of happiness could you see in a 2-year-old? Then wanting to play with things that really resonate with them compared to a 20-year-old. Like, yes, going out with friends that they truly connect to. It's like, yes, these are two different ages. It's the experience. Tying them all together. Knowing that even when we have a falling out in situations, or connection, how does it come together? How does it mend itself? Wow. Because you have gone through, again, this transformation of having things that were probably stagnant or that have stabbed you in the back at one point, that really, even if this is in regards to another person that you're connected to, they may have experienced a lot of situations that felt like they've been stabbed in the back by people that were close to them. They may have to release those situations to have a clean slate for new ones that are truly connected to them, that makes them feel, again, satisfied with themselves. But again, it's something about having to let go what they have learned to how they can use it in the new relationships, but in a different way, in a more mature way. Doesn't just because a person, we all have felt stabbed in the back before. We all have felt betrayed. But do we let that fester into something where any relationship that we have afterwards has to reflect that same situation? Or can we, again, have that clean slate to say, okay, I've learned something, but how can I be a lesson and not something I'm just reliving? Something about reliving. Wow. Yeah. Whether this is you, Aries, or another person, they had to go within. There's nothing wrong with their passion. There's nothing wrong with their purpose. But their preparation, their plans, finding partnerships that really do resonate with that and not going against it, sometimes is hard. But it required a lot of, for us to know that, it required us to have different relationships to see how that is. You can have passion with somebody, but if there's no purpose there, then it's like, it's not pointless. But is that, now the question is, that what you were looking for in the first place? Then what did it take for you to actually have that in your life? What would have been the steps to create that? Wow, because Aries, you're the king, you're the king or queen of pentacles. You know how to prepare for things. You know how to, again, make whatever actions you take become not in alignment with you, but everything around you. So when people come to you, sometimes they may try to, again, match who you are. And it may seem treasurable at first, but is it truly them? That could have been a lot of answers that need to be questioned. Wow, yeah, because when in relationships, maybe you or this person always had to stand up for themselves or defend the relationship. It's either you had to defend the relationship or another person had to defend the relationship. Either way, the equalness, was it shared together? Did y'all have to defend it together? Was that loyalty in defending it for togetherness or separate? Like when y'all worked it out, was it just you working it out or was it just them? It's having that connection. So whatever comes your way, whatever partnerships you have, it has to truly match you. So it's like, rather than pretend a person has to be this way, it's like, well, what does this individual have to truly be? Like seeing them for who they are first before making those type of connections, maybe on your mind or another person's mind. So let's see. Present. All right. Okay, yeah. So if there was any complications in the connection that you have with another person, it not just affected you, it affected everything that was going on around you as well. The same for this person. But again, it's about, if this is a connection, how one may feel that is being led by another. This complication is more of a lead of self. Like whatever you take a lead in, it aggravates other people, or when it comes to connecting with you, it may be affecting other people in this person's life. Okay. All right. Yeah. The connection that they have with you, it seemed like it moved very fast, or events that you had with this person was very frequent and very passionate. But again, having a purpose, having that real partnership could have been in question. Yeah, because again, coming back down to loyalty, is the loyalty longevity, or is it this, again, that they're 1 minute and absent another? Yes, it's nothing wrong with the intellectual conversations and the decision making and the ideals, but when it comes to being together, it can become tireless at times. You have the wisdom to tell the truth. You know exactly how to answer if it came down to this person wanting to work it out. You have the inner knowledge to know, okay, if you really want to work it out, and if you truly do, what is going to be or needs to be shown to show that this connection is true, or is it just passive? Yeah, because you don't mind stepping alone. You don't mind stepping out and being alone, being single, or staying to yourself for a minute to really make sure that your life or whatever you want to do is in alignment with you. So no matter what goes on, whatever situation is coming your way, you know that you know how to take care of yourself, and that you are sustainable no matter what. And that's powerful. That shows that you can love somebody, but if it requires you to make a choice, you will love yourself first. And that may be something that this person never seen in you before. Yeah, because that's a healthy way. Loving yourself first before loving another person is the healthiest thing, because it shows that you care about yourself, yes, but no matter what, it shows anybody that comes your way the respect that they would have to approach you with. Because if it doesn't, it will become unhealthy. And you're looking at any connections that are healthy now. So, if these wonderful Akashic Record books resonate with you, press the like button, share, subscribe. Thank you for allowing me to read with you. Thank you. We will see you on the other side. Oh, if you would like to get a personal Akashic Records reading, look in the description box below. We will see you on the other side.